I grew up in Albany, New Hampshire, which is just outside of Conway, and I was probably 4 years old when I got a pair of skis, just slip-on things over your boots, and went out in the yard. My first lift serve skiing was in the Eastern Slope Ski Club junior program that they ran in schools. You got bussed up there on the Wednesday afternoons and got lessons, and thanks to Hannah Schneider and Cranmore Ski Mobile.
Greg went to UNH in Durham, and while skiing in college at Intervale, he discovered his passion for skiing.
Intervale was a nice little area, great place to learn, and that was where I made my first real parallel turn. It was like somebody flipped a switch. Now I was a driven person to master this sport, which I'm still striving to do 60 years later. I wanted to be a computer programmer. Then, of course, the big name in computers at that time was IBM. And as luck would have it, reading the issue of Skiing magazine, I see this ad, full-page ad, in there that said, come work at our Burlington facility. There are 4 major ski areas within an hour's drive. That first season I was here in Vermont working for IBM was the record season of 1968-69. So I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. After 31 years, I retired from IBM in 1999 to take a job teaching position at St. Michael's in computer science.
After a decade of teaching, during which he moved to Stowe, Greg retired for the second time, and his love for skiing led him to dedicate the next 12 years to helping preserve and present the sport's past.
I had this driving force to write down my memories about skiing. Maybe if I kind of tried to capture them in a column on skiing history and nostalgia for the Stowe Reporter.
Taking his idea to the Stowe Reporter, the editor suggested Greg lead with a related trivia question to engage readers, which Greg did, and 12 years later, he's still sharing these questions that lead into skiing's storied past.
That first one was, where was the first ski lift in the United States? To lead me into a discussion of Woodstock and rope toes, because that rope toes play a large part in my memory here of the early skiing. One thing I learned quickly is I'm not the only person out there with these memories.
But Greg also learned how popular with readers his memories in column was, so he published Retro Ski.
So my book is just a collection of the columns triggered by the trivia question. So that each chapter has a trivia question as its title, and then goes on to write about the details of the answer.
But fittingly, Greg has found his greatest audience online at his blog, Retro Skiing.
I was a computer guy. I jumped on the web early. The whole idea was put this online, not just through the paper, but on my own. And again, driven by the trivia questions. And I do believe that in the modern era where you put things where they're universally available out there and will live on past you, but I do think that what triggered me at first was getting my memories down, and I would encourage anyone to do likewise.